8th grade math. You guys are doing well. We're going to do a little review here over lesson number 8. So we're in unit number 2, lesson number 8. If you want to grab some of those notes, what I have here is the worksheet, which is your homework. And hey, I thought we'd do some of these together, okay? So what our big idea and our learning goal is for number 8 is we're working on inequalities, okay? So they're not equations, they're called inequalities, which basically means they don't have equal signs, they're inequals, right? And so let's look at our different signs to review that. We're always reading these from left to right, okay? So that is the greater than sign, all right? So we could say something like 10 is greater than 2. Okay, when I was a kid, they said, Pac-Man eats the bigger number, it points at the smaller number. This would be the less than sign, okay? Again, we can use variables too. We could say something like x is less than 20, all right? A couple more, we also have a greater than or equal to sign. So it's the greater than sign with part of the equal sign. And then we also have the less than or equal to sign. So those are basically our 4 inequality symbols that we're going to use. All right, let's take a look at number 1. Okay, I'm going to do one from like each section. So we have a verbal phrase, we're going to write an inequality, and then I'm going to go ahead and solve it. So it says the product, that means to multiply, the product of 3 and x, so how about the 3 times x, which I could just say 3x, right? The product of 3 and x is less than or equal to, so it less than or equal to 18, okay? And so that would match up here with C. To solve this, it's the same process as to solve equations, right? We still do our inverse operations. What we do to one side, we do to the other. So let me rewrite this. 3x is less than or equal to 18. I'm going to draw my line. Again, the 3 is connected by multiplication, so do the opposite, divide it out. What I do to one side, I do to the other. And so then you finish that off, 18 divided by 3. Your final answer is x is less than or equal to 6. If I wanted to quickly graph that, which they don't ask you to, but I'll go ahead and show you, put 6 on the number line. If it's or equal to, you color in the dot, and then less than, the arrow should go to the left because that's which way numbers get smaller, okay? That's how you would graph that. There is one thing, which we'll look at here in a second, with inequalities that's different than with equations as far as solving. There's one thing we have to kind of remember. Okay, get rid of all this mess. Going down to the next section here. Oh, I don't know, let's look. So it says solve the inequality and then graph our solution. Let's look at number 7, okay? Because that's the one I kind of want to talk about. The one thing that's different when solving an inequality with an equation, and maybe write this down, anytime you multiply or divide by a negative number, you flip the inequality sign. So example, if I have negative 2x is greater than 10, right? To get rid of that negative 2, I divide it out. Whenever I multiply or divide by a negative, I flip the inequality sign. So it's a greater than sign, I flip that now to a less than sign, okay? So that's the one thing you want, not subtraction. Doesn't matter if the end is negative, but if you multiply or divide by a negative, flip that inequality sign. So when I look at number 7 here, let me rewrite this. I want to get C by itself. That 10, negative 10 is connected by division, so I do the opposite. I'm going to multiply out the negative 10. Of course, remember the inequality rule, when you multiply or divide by a negative, that's going to flip this sign. So instead of less than or equal to, it makes it greater than or equal to, and then negative 2 times negative 10, positive 20. So C is greater than or equal to a positive 20. To graph that, I put positive 20 on a number line. If it's or equal to, you color in the dot. If it was just greater than, it would just be an open dot, right? Because it couldn't equal that quantity. And then since it says greater than, well, numbers get bigger when I go to the right, so my arrow should go to the right. Let you kind of take a look at that. Let's see here, let's do one more. Let's do let's do 18 here. I'll let you guys work on the rest of these. It says the quotient of m and 2 is greater than 23. So that word quotient is our keyword for division. right? Whatever they say first is my numerator. Whatever they say second is my denominator. So the quotient of m and 2 is greater than, right, there's my keyword for my inequality symbol, 23. Okay, so we have written the statement. Let's go ahead and solve it, and then we'll graph it. 2 is connected by division, so you want to do the opposite, multiply it out. Right, that cross cancels. Now you think, am I going to flip the sign here? No, because you didn't multiply by a negative, right? You multiplied by a positive. So 23 times 2 would be what? 46. So m is greater than 46. Again, to graph it, I find 46 on the number line. This would just be an open dot, okay? Because it's just greater than. It can't be 46. It can be any number greater than 46. It does not include 46. Hey, 47, 48, 49, 50, those will all work, right? All of those are greater than 46. All right, guys, take a look at that. Let me know if you need more help, and we will see you later.